right, this is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers, and this is the listing challenge. Our goal is to reach our targets for our listing. So what I'm going to do is, because we're at the end of the month of February. We always want to finish February strong. So I want to do a check-in with everybody to see where they are in their numbers, what their goal was, and then what are their current numbers. I know it's a lot. Want to give you the opportunity, if you feel like you need to make adjustments to your targets, let's make some adjustments to your targets. So I'm going to go first, and my goal by the end of the challenge, I know that I'm listing 42 listings per week, and 42 listings per week, and I'm doing 6 days a week, 7 listings a day. And for me personally, 7 listings a day, I'm spending about an hour listing. So 7 listings per day for 6 days, I hit my target of 42. So that way, my end number at the end of this lovely 12 weeks, I forgot, guys. Can't do math today. 500, 504. Good enough. So that is my target. That's my goal. And I am on track. I had to play catch up from week 1 and week 2. So week 1, 42, week 2, 42, that was 84. Week 3, math. Week 3. Can't remember. 126. So I'm continuing on my path, and next week I'll show you some of the listings that I've created on the different platforms, so that, I don't know if it'll be inspiration or if it'll be annoying. That's not my intention. I'm not a showy person. I think everybody knows that. So I'm not here to be boastful or anything. I'm just here to motivate and help you on your journey. So I'll let I think I unmuted everybody. I'll let Miss Kathy go next. Miss Kathy, what was your original? And then do you feel like you need to make adjustments to your goal, or are you playing catch up?
Pie in the sky goal was 120 for the month, which would have been 30 a week.
Okay.
Realistically, for me, it's going to be 100 a month. Okay. So 20 a day, 5 days a week. Saturday has to be sourcing, and prepping has to be Sunday. Prepping those big items that need to be measured, weighed, cleaned, tested, that kind of thing.
Okay. So you have worked out your system.
Yes.
That you know which day you're going to be doing prepping, so that way your listing goes a lot smoother.
Yeah. Measuring and washing clothes and all that kind of stuff, that takes some time.
Yes, it does. It does. And so I'm thinking that you took some of that advice that I gave from a week ago and said, yeah, I'm going to do this. So,
yes.
Because that's how I've done it for years. It's just like, I got to know what I'm doing for the week, so that way I know what I need to do every day. So I'm glad that you took that advice. I'm glad it was helpful to you. All right. So who wants to go next? Anybody? Do you want to make any adjustments to what your goals were that you set on day 1 or week 2?
Okay, so I'll go.
Okay.
So my goal was to list 5 items a day.
Okay.
That didn't happen.
All right.
I'm looking to see how many I actually listed, because February is not over yet, and I was going to be listing some stuff tonight.
All right, go for it. Go for it.
Okay. So I'm trying to see. I know I started at 134 listings, I think. Right now I'm at 160, but I had 27 sales.
Okay.
So what is that? 160 less 138 plus 27. So those are the numbers that I listed. The goal was,
okay. So your original goal was 5 a day, is that right?
Right.
And
so
how many
that's
days a week?
I say 5.
Okay. And you're a little off your goal, but that's okay. It's okay. All right.
Well, the thing, what happened was I ended up going back to, so if I couldn't list 5 in a day, I would go back and I would rework 2 or 3.
Okay.
I got rid of a lot of old inventory doing it that way.
Oh, that's yeah, because it actually re-indexes it and or at least gives it more presence so that way the platform will showcase it and then people will find it and buy it.
Right. So of course there were some days where I didn't have any sales, and then of course there were some days that I had like 5 sales. The goal money wise was to have $1,000 sold.
Mhm.
Right now I am at um, right now I'm at 697
Look at you. Okay.
for the month. I was hoping to have a couple more sales tonight, but so yeah, so that's it. And then of course the goal was to also list stuff on Poshmark, but I haven't done that yet. So
That's okay. I mean,
I just ended up, I was trying to figure out if I really was gonna get the cross lister
mhm.
to be able to list the items on Poshmark. I did purchase that like 2 days ago. But then I'm trying to figure out, okay, well, am I gonna list all of one brand, or am I gonna list, like, I was just trying to figure out a listing strategy.
Okay.
It takes me about 7 minutes to list an item.
Okay.
So I really don't have that much, list the item on eBay. And obviously when you cross list it over to Poshmark, it takes what, like 2 minutes.
Mhm.
But it doesn't really take that long. What I end up doing is I end up researching the item, because sometimes in my spare time, like if I'm on the train, I'm dumping photographs into drafts. So I'm finding either an item that has sold that's similar, or I go into my own inventory and then sell similar. And usually when I go into my own inventory and sell similar, everything is already there. But
Which
if
makes
I'm
it a whole lot
copying,
easier, which is faster. Yeah.
right, but if I'm copying, like a listing for a brand that I haven't sold before, then it's, you have to basically go through line by line, the item specifics and stuff, just to make sure that you're not picking up anything that's not supposed to be there. So that's why my listing time is really quick, because I buy the same brands, but then sometimes I have an off brand, that I haven't purchased before, and then I have to do some research. But one of the things that I've been trying to do is when I do a draft, put the price in there
Yes.
before I go and save it.
Mhm.
Because when I go back to it, if the price is not there, or if it's a different price, and if there's nothing populates in the field, I have to then go do some research. I mean, I
Yep.
should know because I'm basically selling the same brands over and over and over again. So I should basically, know what the price range it specifically is. But, sometimes you want to be competitive and you want to see what sold within the last month so that you
Correct.
could price accordingly.
Yep.
So I really don't want to change anything.
Okay.
Like I mentioned in the last call, I maintain top rated seller status. So now actually I got a notification the other day from eBay saying that, I've had a really good track record, but based on some recent sales, they weren't shipped in time. So they're giving me an additional grace period to say you have to ship 90% of your items on time.
Mhm.
But I'm shooting for 100 so I can maintain that top rated seller status. So.
Well, I am believing that you will maintain it. I have lost my top rated seller status because I've shipped a couple of things late.
Oh no.
I'll get it back though. I'm not
Right.
worried about it. I just, there's just a season sometimes where we're all sort of slammed in that window. Celebrate my son's birthday kind of threw me off for everything. Any sales that I had, like I didn't even get to deal with them until Monday because Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday was just all crazy for me. So it's all good. I'll catch up. So Kathy, I corrected yours. I think you said 20 listings a week, 4 per day, 5 days a week, 100 per month. Is that right? Did I do that
That
right?
is correct.
Okay,
Yes.
good. I fixed it. I think I just started listening to you talk and I started typing your numbers before I actually did multiplication. So I was like, okay. And Anessa, I love your targets. I love your goals. I'm excited for you. I'm excited about your strategy of listing the same brands. I'm sure that's probably been a strategy you've had for a long. It's probably served you well for a long time.
You know what? I was an everything seller.
Mhm.
And what ended up happening was just, I was like all over the place. And that's actually why, like, I put a lot of stuff on sale, and I got rid of like a lot of the older stuff that I'm no longer selling. But over time, because I picked up certain brands, I've tried this brand, I've tried that brand, and then I've looked at um my what I'm able to buy when I source, and
Mhm.
it's basically the same brands, and those brands sell. So I'm just like, now it's at the point where I like a majority of my store is just women's tops.
And see, and you know your sweet spot too. Plus, you probably already know some additional stats which are vital to kind of growing and scaling your business, which is okay, if I list this particular item, the average for this particular brand normally sells within X number of days, or I
Yep.
might hold this item for this long, and
Yep.
my price point is averaging around this. So I need to be able to buy it at this price in order to be able to meet my margins at this percentage. Like you probably have figured out some of that very easily because of the fact that you nailed it down.
Yeah, I have. And I think I need to probably keep a little bit more track of it, because sometimes when I go thrifting, I get distracted, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, oh, and then of course there are different thrift stores that arrange their inventory in different ways.
Oh
So
yeah.
there's one thrift store that I can go to, and all their plus sizes are in the same section. Whereas another thrift store that I go to, the plus size are in the small section, the medium is the extra large section. So then I have to spend more time at the thrift doing that. I recently done a lot of stuff, online auctions, where I've picked up a lot of high end brand name uh, pieces of clothing, both men's and women's, but I've never sold them before.
Okay.
So I've been watching videos to make sure that I've actually got authentic pieces, because sometimes with these online auctions, you might end up getting, depending upon what, they don't take the pictures very well. That's one of the things that I've noticed too. Like sometimes if they're selling a pair of shoes, they're not taking the pictures of the bottoms of the shoes. And I'm like, I don't think I really want those pairs of shoes, you know. So I'm just kind of like going through and just trying to revamp my system, and figuring out, what I need to look for, making sure that it's in a certain time frame that I've allotted myself, because otherwise when I get distracted, it's a wrap.
Well, I love that about your strategy, because what that's going to do is now that you kind of like have you probably, like I said, you've probably nailed this down for a while as you've gotten to this place, but it's going to allow you to scale if you're want to hit a certain target in income. When you know that kind of data, it allows you to get closer and closer to whatever your income baseline is. So, where I need to make X number of dollars per month. So now that I have this information, I can just scale this up now that I have this data. So I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Who is next? Who is next? Who wants to talk about their targets for the month? I'm going to put down, I did the math real quick, 125 a month. I don't know why I couldn't do math before, but anyway. Um, who wants to talk about whether or not, if you need to make adjustments, look, it is okay to make an adjustment to your target. Again, full disclosure, if you go back and listen to week 1 and week 2 and week 3 for me, like I was not meeting my numbers at all. Many different things happened. I had to get going again, because again, I haven't listed in many, not many years, but a few years myself directly. I've trained people how to list. I've re-recorded training videos. Well, I guess I have listed because I have to re-record the training videos, but to give to my VAs. But me doing it myself over and over and over and over again, like I hadn't done that in years. And so I had to get back on that horse. I was a little rusty, doing the repetition, getting distracted. I was like, oh wow, wait a minute. Okay, Nicole, focus. And then just getting going. So don't feel bad, because again, my first week didn't even meet my targets, didn't even get anything done. Second week, got a little bit done. Third week, and again, I had family stuff going on, but that's all right. That's not an excuse. It's just, I defined my rhythm. So now that I have my footing, it took me a minute to get there. And I thought about changing my numbers. So if you feel like you need to change your numbers, you want to change your numbers. It's okay. Nobody's judging you. This is just something so that we can all keep each other accountable. and help each other win and cheer each other on and celebrate each other's successes and not allow ourselves to beat ourselves up when we don't hit our targets, because that's not what this is about. So who wants to either share if you want to make adjustments or you want to keep your numbers?
Hey, Robin, how are you?
I am hanging in there.
Okay, I think my overall was 250, if I
Okay.
remember.
All
And I
right.
think to do 3 a day, 5 days a week.
Okay.
I have about 19 new ones up. Like you said, I've been off all these weeks, all these issues, but I'm not changing my goal. I'm not
Okay.
changing. I'm going to stick to the 250.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to do a little bit this week. I've been having troubles with everything, house, internet, you name it, it's going on. But I'm going to stick with my thing, and then hopefully I will be able to get right on track next week and I can make up.
All right. We're going to celebrate with you. We're going to celebrate when you get caught up. Because again, it took me a little bit to get caught up, and that was a lot of listings. That was a lot of listings to get caught up.
So I found my girlfriend and finally is gonna let me go to her house because I've been having a lot of trouble with internet in my neighborhood. So she's like, look, if the internet goes down again, just come to my house and say my internet went down and I'll set you up in the room. So I said, so at least I have to have all my pictures and stuff done before I go over there, because then I could do the listings over there.
All right. Well, I'm excited for you.
I'm sourcing in my house right now because I have a lot of stuff.
You have a lot of stuff in your house. I have a lot of stuff in my house. Yeah, I don't have to really go anywhere. I don't have to go
Right now, but I'm also living in my old family house, so I'm also finding stuff with my moms and my sisters and stuff like that. So I'm selling some of their stuff too. So
All right. Well, I'm excited for you. I will tell you, one of the tips, because of the fact that, when we're listing new things all the time, which means you got to take time to do the research and you got to get the words, and you got to take the pictures and all of that other stuff. So at some point after this challenge, like when you get all that stuff listed, because I know I have a bunch of stuff too, and it's a variety of different things. The method that I was talking with Kathy about was, okay, try to do similar stuff.
Mhm.
That will hopefully reduce your amount of time that you have to do for keyword research and titles and descriptions. So,
Oh,
that may cut some of the time, because I don't know how long it's taking you.
it's taking
Knowing
me a little longer.
a little bit, yeah, because everything is brand new. You got to stop, look up what is this? What's it going for? What's the title for it? What are the other people selling it for? What's the description that they're using? And so that just slows you down. So you go from taking 5 minutes to create a listing to 15 or 20 minutes per listing. And so
Right.
that can also be, that can also frustrate you and, make you demotivate you, make you not want to
Well,
do it.
what I did do was the first 5 items I did were like shoes, and those went pretty quickly for me. And then I found some shirts, so I put some shirts on. And then when I was digging in the house, I found some more shoes. I said, ooh, let's go back to the shoes because I got shoes pretty good. So then I did another 5 pair of shoes. So like of those 10 listings, of those 15 listings, 10 are shoes. Because I sort of got the hang of doing the shoe, taking the right picture, doing all that kind of stuff. So I see what you're saying. When you do the same item, it sort of gets easier. So I was like, oh, I got the shoes down. Now I got to work on, I guess she's right. Like, they want to know the measurements, how long is the sleeve. I'm like, I don't know all that stuff.
And it takes a lot of time. Now, I don't know if you have any little ones or if you have nieces and nephews anywhere, but maybe one of the things you might do is, like, on Saturday or Sunday, like, pull out what you think you're going to list for the week. If your target is 15 items per week, and have your nieces and nephews go do the measurements for you, and maybe even allow them to take the pictures for you. So that way that can maybe buy you back some time.
Okay, wait a minute. So if I'm doing 3 a day,
Mhm.
3 a day, 5 days a week, how much is that? 3 a
That's
day.
15.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
So
It is 15.
Saturday, pull out your 15.
Mm-hmm.
Group together as many of them that are similar. So of the 15, if you got 5 shirts and 5 pairs of pants, or 5 shirts and 5 shoes and whatever else, 5 whatever, then allow your nieces or nephews to do some work, or your kids if you have kiddos, so that way that may save you some time. That's one of the reasons why I have multiple phones, because I can just give my son the phone and we upload the photos to my Google Drive. But I'll give him the phone and say, okay, here's the stuff. And I'll put the pile over by the shadow box and say, I need you to take all these pictures front to back. I need them to be clean. I need them to be flat. I need them to whatever it happens to be. And so he will take the pictures, and then on my phone while I'm listing, I can look and see, okay, I need you to retake the picture you just took. I can just yell downstairs, retake that picture. He'd be like, what? And I'm like, I can see it when you upload it.
Okay.
As
Well,
soon as you
I might
upload
have
it,
a,
I
I
can
might have
see
a,
it.
I think I might have a neighbor's daughter that I might be able to come over and help me.
Yeah.
Or one of my, well, yeah, maybe one of my goddaughters could come and help me. Okay, I'll think about that. I didn't think about that. People keep
Yeah.
telling me that, but I'm just like, don't I have to teach them? But now
Well,
that
but no, I
help.
mean, kids, they like to be on phones for whatever reason, and they're always taking selfies and pictures of themselves anyway, or some obscure object. And I'm like, why don't you take a picture of that? So it's like, if you want to take some pictures, let me give you something to do. So you're not always on TikTok, or you're not always on Snapchat or whatever else. So I would encourage you to do that, and maybe you can reward them. I've rewarded kids with different things in the past. I've rewarded them with pizza, a 6-pack of soda. We'll run over to Walgreens, and they're just like, I just want those flaming hot, a bag of flaming hot Cheetos. And I'm like, okay, we didn't need to come to Walgreens for that, baby. We could have gone to a regular store and got it for cheaper. But anyway, sure, here's your bag. So I'm just like, just some different things that
Okay.
they're simple to reward is what I'm saying. You're not going to come out of pocket $10 a week rewarding them. Like, you can do it for dirt cheap because you just give them a pile of stuff. So you have 15 hopefully is quick, and just make sure that the things that you want to point out to them, especially if you're doing clothing or used items, is that they need to make sure that they take a close-up picture of any tears, any scratches, any deformities or whatever. And if you need them to wipe down stuff, just make sure that you tell them they need to clean it, wipe it down if it's a flat surface thing or whatever, solid surface, not clothing that you have to wipe down. But outside of that, like I said, I put the pile over there and say, go take these here's my phone, go take these pictures. And he's like, okay.
Okay. I got some people I can ask.
All right. And then just be
I'm gonna
prepared to know how they want to be rewarded. Because it could be, can you run me over to blah, blah, blah? Okay, fine. As long as your mama says yes, yeah, I can do that.
I can do that. Yeah, don't be getting me in trouble. Have you running over somebody's house you're not supposed to be at?
Hello, who you telling?
Try that. They will try that. Okay, that's
Oh, they will.
hopefully I'll be able to up my listing from 3 to like 4. Even just getting one more a day might help me get closer to my goal. But I'm excited because I at least got these done through all the drama that I've been through. I'm excited. I got these 15 up.
Yeah. And I always use my extra phones for hotspots as well. So I hotspot it everywhere, in the car, in the waiting rooms. I hotspot it everywhere. So that's another thing.
Cool.
Okay, so who wants to share their either whether or not they want to adjust their goal or where they are for their goals and their targets? Anyone else?
I'm here, Amy.
Hey, Amy.
I only did 70.
Okay. I forget how you spell your name uniquely. Sorry. Is it AMIEE or is it, what is it?
AIM. Like my husband used to say, aim, shoot again, EE.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm turning a lot of product, and making sales. I mean, I had to go buy a bunch of boxes yesterday so we could get all my orders packed, and I still have more orders I think I have 40 orders that have to go out tomorrow. So it's not like I'm not
Selling.
yeah, but I could be doing more. Be probably doing a lot more. Yeah.
So do you want to keep your target that you have right now? Do you feel like you want to make adjustments to it? Do you feel comfortable with it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I mean, okay, if I just I really need to learn the POD, but or the uploading part or all that kind of part, but like we discussed before, if I came up with 8 designs and I did, or 10 designs and I did 8 variations, that gives me or if I have 10 designs, I do 10 variations, that gives me 100 listings. So, I don't know that I wanna adjust it yet, but I'm like, so if I only did 70 and my goal is 1,000, then I have, what is it, like 930 left. So I don't know. I don't know if I should adjust it. I don't know. Do you
Okay.
have any feedback on it?
Well, I'm gonna write down 70 right now. I'm assuming you have a system, meaning like I think you have a helper that helps to make sure your shipments get out
Sometimes, yeah.
sometimes. And so who's doing that? Are you doing all the listings yourself? Like,
Well, these were all like stuff that was listed, so I just added it. And it's not like I made brand new from scratch listings.
oh, okay.
It's all Amazon stuff right now.
Okay, so you're just piggybacking. Oh, that's the best. That's one of the quick. Sell yours on eBay and piggybacking on Amazon. You also piggyback on Walmart too. But yeah, those are the best ways to list. Okay.
So, I mean, I'm turning a lot of product, but at the same time, I need to up my game.
Well, are you hitting your financial targets?
Mm, oh, I don't know. That's a good
Okay.
question. That
All
might
right.
be a coaching call question.
Okay, well then we can talk about that offline. But so then the next question is
Let's just put it this way. I was really hustling, and even, I was not walking as well as I'm walking now, but I fell Friday before last, and then I fell this last Thursday, and I've hurt my foot. It's sore, and I've got some bruising. I mean, it's not real bad, but I was really hustling in November, December, and early January, and I was in a lot worse physical shape than I am now, and I'm not really hustling now, and so I'm frustrated with myself about that.
well, you're gonna have to forgive yourself about that. You definitely have to do that. That's the one
I
thing.
mean, I'm not falling apart like I have before, but I'm not really going for it either. So
Well, I think it's okay that the question I was about to ask is, do you feel like you're doing better right now than you did last year at this same time?
totally. Well, I mean, I was
Okay.
sick this time last year, but like I told you, I'm just gonna say for the group real quick. I lost my husband 4 years ago, and since the last 4 years, every time this year I kind of fall apart. So that was one of the things that we discussed, Nicole and I, in a private call was, I need to not fall apart this. And last year I was sick. So, I feel like kind of, I've sold since 2012. So I know what sells this time of year. I know how to do research. I know all of that. Um, because I haven't bought much this time of year in 4 years. I don't know. I've got like some kind of nervous thing going on or something.
Well, I want you to celebrate. First, I want you to acknowledge the fact that you have done more this year compared to last year. So at this time,
Way more. I mean,
okay.
way more. Like I can tell you, hold on. Let me look at this Amazon seller. Okay, so I'm down from last month, but from last year at this time for this 30 days, I'm up 200 I'm at 2,893% from this 30 days last year.
Okay, so we're going to celebrate that, and we're not going to dwell on anything else. We're going to get out of our head, and that's the only.
I mean, that's pretty good, right?
That is.
That's almost 300. That's almost 3,000%.
So my point is, we're going to celebrate that because
Okay.
you have made progress. You have improved your stats over last year 100%. And that at the end of the day, ultimately, that was the goal. That was
But
really
I'm down 13% over the previous 30 days.
It's okay. You're fine. We're going to celebrate that you've gotten
3,000% is pretty good, right?
Yep. That you got some consistency back into your life during this window. So we're going to accept that. So if you can hold the line and stay on top of your 70 listings each week, then that percent of where you are, that 13%, like it should start to come back up. Because again, if this was that window in which last year you had a hard time, the year before that you had a hard time, and you're up by this high percentage, let's celebrate that. That's what we're going to celebrate, because you actually have already reached your goal for this listing challenge. Meaning the goal at the end of the day was so that you could at least list during this window. And you've proven that you can do that because you're up by 3,000%. So congratulations to you. We celebrate that.
I know, but I'm still beating myself up about the other stuff. It's like I only have this much money. I'm about to pay all these bills. And I'm like, I got to start turning this money. I got to turn it. I got to turn it. I got to turn it. I'm like, but I still have 1,000 units inventory or more. I have more than that.
You're okay though. You're good. You're
Okay.
good. You're good. So celebrate that.
I
and
better get myself a coaching call.
we're not going to dwell on all that other stuff. Okay, we're not.
I'm doing
Okay.
better than I did last year. I'm up almost 3,000% from last year. That's pretty amazing. And considering that I went home from the hospital in a wheelchair 5 months ago, unable to walk.
See? So that's what we focus on. We don't focus on the other stuff, because then we'll just be focusing on the negative. And that's exactly what Satan wants you to do. So you have to acknowledge that right now, every time that you focus on the negative, you're giving Satan points for the day. And we're
Oh
not
my
giving Satan
God.
points for the day.
Ugh.
Okay. So when you
Yeah.
focus on the negative, that's what you're doing. And he doesn't get brownie points.
No,
We don't give him brownie points. So stop
no,
talking about it.
I have enough problems with him. I don't need to give him any energy.
He knows
Be
that-
after me all the time. I don't even need to go there. I had a conversation with the priest last week, and he said, when you're just coasting, he leaves you alone. But when you're really going towards God and you're being faithful and you're doing what God wants, that's when they come after you.
Absolutely. We have to recognize that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have our new we have our targets. So now we know
But
what.
that was 70 for a month, not 70 for a week.
Oh, 70 for the month? That's your
Yeah.
time. You're going to do 70 each month?
No, that was what I did this month. No, I'm going to shoot for, I don't know what it is, what we have, how many, 8 weeks left?
Yeah. So I think you were 1,000. So
930 divided by 8 is 116 a week, 117 a week.
hold on.
I don't know if I could meet that.
I think you were 83 a week. I think that was your number.
And if I do it now, if I take the 930, which I have left, and I divide it by 8, it gets me to 116 a week.
Well, I'm going to stick with, I think it was 83. I'm going to go back and listen to the recording, but I'm pretty sure you said 83. So it's okay. If you want to play catch up on your own, that's fine. But we're just going to put this down for right now, because I think you were double my number, which is close.
So that would be 560 by the end of the challenge if I do 70 a week.
Okay. And if you do 83.
Is that what I should do? Is that what you think I should realistically shoot for? I mean, I did 70 for the month.
Well, we didn't start at the beginning of February. We started sort of a couple of February. So it wasn't beginning of February. Plus February is only 28 days. So it's a short month. So
well, one of the things I need to do is I had some returns, and some of those returns are valuable, and I need to get organized. I'm not organized, and I need to go through those returns because some of those returns will sell for, $30 to $100. So that's something I really need to do. So that's not listing, but I need to do that.
it'll get you some money back. Okay. Well, the reason I wanted to get these numbers is because tomorrow is March the 1st. And March the 1st gives us an opportunity to reset wherever we are now. It's our opportunity to reset. So what we know what our energy and focus is going to be for the month of March. And for the month of March, we've got, of course, 4 full weeks. And then we've got like this partial week, because there's 31 days in March. So the goal is, Kathy to maintain or to pick up the momentum of the 20 listings per week, and Esther to do the 25, Robin to do the 15, Amy, you to do the 83, me to stay 42, and whoever else had their numbers from before, so that we know what our focus is for March. We know where we're going, because we're going to be done I think mid April. I gotta go look and see what the end date is. But let's give March everything we got, because that's the first full month of this challenge that we actually have, because February was not a full month and April will not be a full month. So this gives us the opportunity to get a full month of the challenge and to really, build the momentum and the consistency that's going to help us to get closer and closer to our targets, even if we have to play catch up, like an extra 1 listing here, an extra 2 listings here, or whatever. So that by the time we're finished with the challenge, we're like, okay, we did it. 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 So that's the goal, is to give it everything that we got for the month of March. And we're doing 12 weeks. Hold on. Did I do my math wrong? 1, 2, 3, and then 4 months, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 8, and then 4. So we are going to probably get through the majority of April, but we definitely have a full month that we're starting here in a minute. So that's where we want to focus our energy, remind ourselves what we're focused on, what our goal is, where we want to be at the end of April or close to the end of April. What is it that we said, the reason why we're starting this challenge and why we want to get these listings done, even if it is for us to, get some extra sales so we can do XYZ, whatever that is. So this is your opportunity. We're going to finish February strong, yes, but we're going to kick off March super strong because we know what our objective is. We know what our agenda is. We're going to be focused on it. We're going to get up in the morning. We're going to remind ourselves of it, and we're going to do everything we can to reach those goals. So with that, I know we've talked about a couple of different tips. And so I wanted to go through and I wanted to point out a couple of the things. When I do my product research, and I don't know if this is going to be helpful to you or not, but it's just something that I do and it may or may not be helpful to you. So if I am listing, I'm going to find something that I can list. I'm going to do a soup bowl. Lord have mercy. I don't know why, because I have a soup bowl on my desk. I'm doing this cabbage soup, y'all. It's not really cabbage soup, it's greens, but anyway. So let me see if I can find this listing on a couple of different platforms. I feel like I can probably find this. Let's go see if we can find it on Amazon. I think they call them cereal balls. Yeah, you can spell Nicole. And pretty, not the exact same thing, but close. Not exact. I was hoping to find the exact same one, but okay. Maybe not. That's close. Okay. All right. We'll find it. We'll get close. And so I did it again. And that's multicolors. Okay. So there's some bowls that are similar. Not that this was like the whole point, because it's not really about listing bowls. It's about, there's our bowls. Okay, there. Wow, that price difference is big. Wow, I could like buy this on here and sell it on another platform. Okay, so it's the same bowls. Yeah, so this is ClickPick. No, it's ClickPick. I have no idea. Let me see if I can find these. It was called ClickPick. Click. Did I find them? I found them. Look at that. All right. So we have these bowls here. Over here, it's just multicolored cereal microwave safe dish bowls. And then over here, it's ClickPick, whatever this is. Probably somebody probably did white label, and did private label, fake private label. I call it fake private label because you're not really making something. You're taking something that already exists and putting your brand on it. So anyway, fake private label because they didn't make these. And then you've got ClickPick, who is clearly selling it for a much higher price than anybody else. But the thing that I want to point out here is When I am going through and working, one of the things that I train my VAs on regarding creating listings is I make them definitely find it on a couple of platforms, if possible, when possible. I tell them that the maximum amount of time that they're allowed to do research is 2 minutes. And I have personally a kitchen timer on my desk. You can hear that kitchen timer there. So I have a kitchen timer at all times on my desk and got about 3 or 4 of them. The reason I have them is, one, I use a kitchen timer to figure out how much time I'm going to spend for product research. So I'll have like the green one for product research. I'll have the red one for creating the listing. And then I'll have the black one for something else. So that way I can stay within my margins of how much time it takes to create that listing. So then when you ask me how long does it take you to create a listing, I know how long roughly it takes me to create a listing. I know that it takes me certain platforms. If I have to create it brand new, it may take me longer, like on Amazon, because I've got a lot of fields to fill in, than it might take me on Walmart. It may take me longer on eBay, but whenever possible, if I can piggyback or if I can sell mine, then I choose that option. The thing that I tell my VAs to look at when they are going through and doing the comparison real quick. So I tell them don't spend more than 2 minutes doing research, but they actually probably spend closer to 5 minutes if I'm going to be honest. And so when they go and they pull up the listing, I have them actually scroll through real quickly to see what the pictures are, so that if I'm putting up a listing of something similar, because again, this is assuming that it's similar, but it's not exactly the same thing, that teaches them what that platform is expecting or what you should be putting on that platform as far as what the picture should be, how many different angles, the front, the back, the side. And if you can find one that is showing the product either in use or in a lifestyle setting, that's always good. If you can't find that, okay. If you're buying stuff, you don't always have that option. So trying to find a picture of somebody out there on the internet that's got that particular item on when you're buying it from a thrift store, sometimes that takes a little bit longer. So you don't get that opportunity. And so my friend Barbara, she brought a mannequin to be able to sort of put the mannequin picture in there so people could get an idea of how it might fit on your body. But in any case, I make them go through and I tell them to double check the images, because if we've taken the pictures, if I'm sending you pictures to create my listing, then you need to be paying attention to the types of images the listing needs to have. How many different images per platform? What are the different positions or angles in which those images are in? So you can see that they're using the same images over and over again. They are. Same ones on Amazon, should be probably the same ones on Walmart. Yep, same ones. Oh, not exactly. They only did 3, but that's fine. So getting the images. And then the other thing is I tell them to make sure that when they're doing the pictures, that they reduce the amount or minimize the amount of white space around the image itself. And so when doing that, like on Amazon, it looks like there's way more white space. But when I look at the orange frame at the bottom, there's not a lot. Whereas Walmart has done a great job of just making this picture look bigger than it really is. I'm sure it's the same picture, exact same picture, but the difference is that they zoomed in on the picture. You don't have that option on Amazon at all. It just, you just have this white space around it. So at some point, Amazon will figure that out on Walmart. And then on eBay, again, they don't have a lot of white space around it. The picture is not super large from this view, but again, it still looks good. It still looks good when you look at it because it doesn't have as much white space. I tell them to look at the pictures, and if we can still take the picture, then, and it's not something that's like copyrighted directly, like a well-known name brand. Like I can't do that for, like, I don't know, Disney or Hamilton Beach or something like that. So I'm like, you'll need to modify the picture. And I showed you before how to modify the picture. But the other thing is I tell them to look at the title. I don't allow them, when they're cross-listing or sharing on the other platforms, to use the exact same title on each one of the platforms. The reason being is that the indexing and or the search algorithm for each one of the platforms is different. Amazon has built out its naming convention, like it's oh Lord have mercy, categories. It's built out its categories. And so there is already a key word embedded in whatever category this is in. So that's how the search engine knows to go pull up bowls. Even if I didn't, like if I said multicolored cereal, I don't know. And I put bowls at the end of my search, like multicolored 6-inch, blah, 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 and then bowls. Then even though bowls is at the end, because typically you want the bowls to name to be at the beginning, or the actual word bowls, because that's what the object is. Amazon knows how to figure it out because of where it lives in the category search. Whereas Walmart, say whoever did this listing, they literally took the exact same verbiage. And so what people are finding is that when they do that on Walmart, they're not getting as much traction on their listings. So what I want to encourage you to do is, if you are going to be cross-listing, one, go look at the images and the different platforms just briefly. Try not to spend more than 2 minutes doing that if possible. But number two, look at how the title is written. This title right here is definitely an Amazon title. To make this product stand out more for Walmart, what they should have done is bowls should have been in the first 3 words. Nobody cares about click pick. Nobody. And so whoever created this listing clearly doesn't understand that Walmart has not built out its category structure as strong as Amazon's exists right now. Amazon has had years and years and years to build out its category structure. So there's a high probability that this particular product is not getting as much traction on Walmart, and one, because of the price too, as it could than it does on Amazon, because it's easily found on Amazon because of the category structure of the platform itself. On Walmart, that's not built out as strong. So in order for them to get more traction on their listing, they should have put the word bowls in the first 3 words, but they didn't. It's like the 6th word, 5th or 6th word down, depending on if you count the number. So pay attention to how the titles sort of look on each platform, so that you have the opportunity to get as many organic eyeballs on your listing, depending on where you're selling. If you're only selling on Amazon, you probably got it down. You already know what Amazon wants, what Amazon needs, or you just piggyback off those listings, and that's fantastic. But if you're selling on some of the other platforms, make sure that you're paying attention to the words that you're putting and where you're putting those words. So this one is more of a descriptive listing. They have dishwasher safe soup bowls. And so soup bowls definitely should have been closer to the front, unless they wanted to emphasize microwave. Somebody's looking for microwave soup bowls, should have been microwave soup bowls or microwave soup cereal bowls. Dishwasher safe, I would have switched that around. I know that on eBay, they have, what is the tool on eBay? I know everybody knows it. Oh, Lord. Title Builder. What is that? What's the tool? Anyway, Title Builder, Title-Builder is one of the title building tools, but the other one is, I can't remember the name right now.
Terapeak.
Terapeak, thank you. There was another T word. And so again, those tools can help you build a better listing on eBay so that you can get more traction. And you can always go and sort by sold, so you can see, if it's something that's selling, what was the title on those products that sold, so that either you can sell yours, use the same title that they had or modify it slightly and get more traction. But just remember, some platforms need you to have the keywords in the first 3 words in order for you to get show up more frequently in the organic searches. So this one, I think, because of the word cereal, this one probably comes up whenever someone is typing in, even if they're typing in just for cereal, like I want some Fruity Pebbles or whatever. The other thing is that this one's probably going to come up whenever they're looking for something dishwasher safe or microwave, before it will come up for soup bowls, because of the fact that soup bowls are way, like it's the 5th and 6th word down. So some of that stuff matters, the order in which those words are listed. So I just wanted to point that out, and I think this is a mistake. I'm sure that if they go and look at the stats and how often this actually comes up, is not as often as they would like, unless, there's on Amazon, you have use words, search words. I'm forgetting the other one. There's like 4 or 5 different fields when you're creating a listing from scratch. And so on Walmart, they have some of those same fields, but not out is there on Amazon. So again, the title is the driver, and then also what you put in the description is also the driver, along with naming your images. That's the last thing. Make sure you name your images. I think I've said that before. Just make sure you name your images. That's going to help you to come up more frequently in your organic searches. So I hope that made sense. I hope that helps. It took me a little bit. I went around the earth and back just to get to my point, but I hope it made sense. And I hope you use it when you're creating your listings. That's one of the tips that I gave my VAs is go look at other listings and then figure out what's the common denominator for the listings on that specific platform. So I've seen a lot of people who start on Amazon and then they go share their listings over to Walmart and they say, Walmart's not working for me. And I'm like, because you need to change your titles, babe. You can't keep the titles the same. You need to change it up. So with that, I hope that helps you. I am celebrating everyone's success for the month of February, and I'm excited for everyone for the month of March. And we will be praying for all of you in our Entrepreneur Sunday meetings. So you're more than welcome to come to the Bible study if you want to. It's at 8:00 on Sunday. Otherwise, we're going to be praying for your numbers. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye for now because I got a training I got to do.
Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Good night. Thank you so much.
You all have a blessed one.
You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.